fun and darkness is very common for balancing his story. But this does try to put a smile on my face.
Hello everyone, my name is InSein, and this is Mr. InSein in theaters. In this specific series, I'm going to take a look at the movies that are still in theaters. So I will avoid spoilers until the very end of the video if it is necessary. I will give the warning. So those are the rules from now on, and let's take a look at this quickie review. Oh man. Today's movie is the recent installment of Marvel Cinematic Universe with Avengers: Infinity War. The story is about this new antagonist named Thanos, who's going all over the galaxy to collect all of these Infinity Stones and to gain power and destroy the world. So, needless to say, all of the Marvel heroes, known as the Avengers, are gathering together to destroy this villain. I had to be careful with this review by not spoiling anything because this film is worth not spoiling it. But needless to say, it's amazing. Like, surprisingly amazing. I know it feels redundant since I praise most of the MCU movies, even the ones that are not that great, but they're really that good. Like, even their worst ones are not really horrible or anything. I mean, they're fun and likable. I actually did a marathon on all of the MCU movies in the month of April before the release of Infinity War. Minus Black Panther because it wasn't released on DVD at the time. And needless to say, it was worth the marathon because it gives you an idea on all of these movies and how the characters have went through their development, and what's more interesting is that in one movie they give you some plot points and ideas that will later expand into the next movies, which it gets me to like these films even more than what I remember. The pacing of this film is fantastic, mostly because it doesn't feel like your typical MCU formula that you all know very well. It is very different. In the predecessors, the characters have their slow and calm moments, while in the later scenes they show the plot and action sequences that are advancing the story. This film is not wasting any time. Like, the focus is still on the story and plot of Thanos that tries to collect the Infinity Stones, and all the characters have their moments, but they're still advancing on the plot. One of the things that I love about this film, and is the exact same element that I love about the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, and that is the characters' interactions. Like, especially from the Avengers, and this film is even more enjoyable because new characters are coming in that has never interacted with one another, most especially the Guardians of the Galaxy. Those were my favorite characters. They had the best lines, and this film is even better. Like, I'm glad that James Gunn wrote their dialogue for this film. While the film does have its light moments, it still has a lot of dark and intense sequences. But unlike Age of Ultron or Civil War, while those movies surprise me, they don't shock me. Not like how this movie did. This film gave me chills. Without revealing anything from this movie, let me talk about Thanos. He was amazing. Like, he has some interesting layers onto this character and fascinating backstory. I know that many people aren't really fond of the MCU Rogue Gallery. Personally, I don't have much problem with them. Maybe half of them were good and the others were forgettable. But all that said, Thanos kicks ass. I'll say this, that I wasn't really impressed with Thanos in his small appearances in the other Marvel movies. Like the first Guardians of the Galaxy and his mid-credit scenes in the first two Avengers movies. But it was worth the waiting. Josh Brolin gave an amazing performance. The effects are really convincing. The visual effects are amazing in general for this film. I'll say this, that even though Thanos was preparing to face off against the Avengers, it took him like almost 6 years of preparing this, like really slow for that matter. And yet now that he appears in this movie, he is now advancing, like not losing his focus to gain his goal. In conclusion, this movie is shocking. Great performances, enjoyable action sequences, and yet it still has a really intense direction. I'll give this to the Russo brothers for giving us a really enjoyable experience. Like a really surprising one for that matter. You know, it's kind of funny how these guys can direct a very annoying romantic comedy, but yet they are top-notch for making a Marvel movie, or 3 for that matter. This movie is great. Go watch it. Or even better, go watch the other Marvel movies before the film. It's even better. That is all for today. I'll see you in the next review. See you later.